Hello, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I'd like to talk about the idea that we are creative by nature. So, before we understood how to manifest, we were going through our world, creating every single experience that happened, all things, all good things, bad things, indifferent things, because we have the power to create our entire experience. In fact, no one else can create our experience. No matter what comes up in our life, no matter who talks to us, who tells us that they're in control of us, no matter who the president of the United States is, no matter what law was passed, no one can create our experience except for us. Now, at first, when I heard this concept, I was very disturbed because it meant that all of the bad things that happened in my life, I created those as well. But upon testing this theory that everything was held together because of me, in my imagination, I was able to then take that full responsibility and hold on to it and never give it away, no matter what anyone says, and use my creative faculties inside my imagination, inside my mind, and create the world that I wanted to create. So when I say all of us is creative, I mean every single aspect of our spirit, every single every single thing that can thought process, feeling, imagination, inner conversations, assumptions, beliefs, anything in the non-tangible side that exists inside of us is literally creating everything that we experience. So when I talk about manifesting, the idea is that the subconscious mind is the creative force. It's the thing that, when impressed upon, will manifest whatever is impressed upon it in this world. Okay, so it's creative. It's literally selecting a dimension in the universe and forcing us to experience it. So it's not a magnetic attraction, but instead it's literally slipping from dimension to dimension. And the way that we do that is by exerting our imagination and creating a scene which would imply that we are now already the person that we desire to be. And then we hold that into our imagination in first person point of view as if we are really experiencing it. And that's the key. We go to the end result, nothing before the end, nothing before the fulfilled desire. And we go in first person point of view in our imagination. And if we stay there and dwell in there while we are imagining, we will create an impression on the subconscious mind. And that impression is like a seed. And in its perfect time, it will ripen and flower and manifest and show its fruit. Your manifestation will mimic the exact image that you brought into your mind, which is why you need to do it in first person point of view if you wish to experience this manifestation yourself. So it's not just imagining with your eyes closed that is creative. Every faculty of our spirit is creative. So I know I always talk about literally constructing a scene and entering into it, into our imagination, and feeling the feelings of the wish fulfilled. That is the greatest way to manifest. But there are so many other ways to manifest. You've got to understand that we are always manifesting all the time. And it's not just when we're daydreaming. It's not just when we have our eyes closed and we're imagining. It's our thoughts. It's our inner conversations. It's our moods. It's the assumptions that we have playing back on repeat in our subconscious mind that we're not even aware of. It's the patterns from the past, the memories from the past. All of these things, these non-tangible entities that exist inside of our mind, are creating all the time. So what we can do is utilize that. Instead of allowing our mind to run wild and to continuously, inadvertently create a world that we don't want to experience, we can seize control and take full responsibility and utilize each and every one of those faculties to get what we want. So in order to do that, what we can do is we can outline exactly what we want. So as long as we do that, it doesn't matter which technique we use after. The only thing we must do is learn how to impress the subconscious mind. Generally, impressing the subconscious mind is simpler if something is happening in your own mind. So when I say that, I mean instead of events happening outside of this world, right? I mean in this world, right? The consciousness, our consciousness, the part of me who's aware and speaking to you right now. So awareness is another way to explain this, right? Not awareness in general, not my subconscious, but just the analytical, finite mind, the ego part, the active part in this reality. That acts as a guard to the subconscious mind. It's like a gatekeeper. So a lot of things, if we don't like it, or if it's not in our awareness, or if it's not something that catches our attention, then it's very likely that it will not be impressed on the subconscious mind. But instead, if we bring these images or words or ideas or feelings or assumptions into the mind itself purposefully through our deliberate action, the conscious mind is much more likely to yield and allow those things to enter into the subconscious. And the idea is, the truth is that anything at all that enters into the subconscious, good, bad, or indifferent, will be created. There's no question it will manifest in its exact likeness in some form on the screen of space. So after you outline what you want, whatever it is, do you want a specific person? Do you want a new job? Do you want to move to a new place? Do you want to have a host of friends? Do you want to be more outgoing? Do you want it to be sunny out? The whole vast world is only a reflection of the subconscious, which is constantly being impressed upon by the imagination and the conscious mind. So once we decide what it is that we want, because we can have whatever we want because all things are possible, all we then have to do is pick the technique or the faculty that we would like to use in order to impress. So for me, I'll give you a couple examples. I already gave you the first one, which is to literally imagine in first person point of view, adding all the tones of reality, taste, touch, feeling, everything. If you imagine in first person point of view, when you close your eyes and clear your mind, if you imagine the end result and only the end result, then it will impress. So just to be clear, and I didn't mention this in this video yet, but the end, the reason we choose the end is because, like I said, the exact thing that we imagine will manifest on the screen of space, and generally nothing after that. So the awesome thing is that only defining the end, there's a pattern in the seed that we plant in our subconscious. That pattern includes everything that must be accomplished in order for that desire to be fulfilled. So you don't need to worry about how and when something is going to come to pass. You only need to know the end, and everything will automatically unfold in a bridge of incidents. You'll watch things move perfectly, like literally there's a bridge connecting you from here till the end. Now, you don't know when and how this is going to happen, but it will happen, it's certain, because every seed has its own appointed hour. So getting back to the topic of your faculties, right? So you can use the imaginal scene, which is the one I went over. You can also use inner conversations, which is a mental diet, is another word for it. So you can construct some type of mental diet that you would be experiencing if that desire had been fulfilled. A conversation with a loved one, with a brother or sister or family member, someone that you trust, right? There's a verse in the Bible that talks about how when two agree, it's conclusive, and that's when it will come to pass. So if you have in your imagination, you're using a fake inner conversation essentially, and you're talking about how the desire had been fulfilled, and they are so happy that our desire had been fulfilled, then that will manifest. Or you can switch it around and for them, manifest for them what they want by telling them in your imagination that you're happy for them and them telling you that they're happy about having received the thing. So the inner conversation is another one. Another one is to writing, right? So if you write down and then you read these words on the piece of paper and try to, when you're reading these words, like in the future as if it's already done, like a story or a journal entry from the future. A story or a journal entry from the future is like scripting, which is another way to construct a scene in the future after the desire had been fulfilled. So if you do that and then you read it back, so first of all, writing itself can be good enough. That's it, done, and it will still manifest. But to kind of really push it in there, if you simply read it back to yourself loudly and concisely in your mind, you will also watch that will plant the seed even more. All this, and you can use feeling. I know people who literally touch things in their imagination. They feel the actual sensation of touch and it will manifest. Smell, sight, emotion, all of these inner spiritual senses have the capacity or power to create a seed to impress on the subconscious mind, and none are weaker than the other. So whatever you want to do to try to impress the subconscious mind, whatever sense you wish to invoke, if you construct a scene in the future as if it's already been fulfilled, the desire that you have, it's already done. So you take a time and space and that it's finished and you add a little bit to that. So after the end, if you do that and you imagine that in some capacity in your mind, you will get past the gatekeeper and into the subconscious, and it will plant the seed and manifest on the screen of space. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, definitely subscribe to my email list to get more stuff like this unlisted and stories and stuff, sovereignmind.com. Subscribe here on my channel, click the bell icon, and stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching.